All right, let's do it again. Hopefully, this won't be a weekly thing, but we got to talk about what went wrong for Fields. I think you could argue I think the offense as a whole was worse game one. I think you could argue he was worse here in week two. Not his best performance. There were some positives. We're going to talk about the positives. We're going to talk about it all, but another disappointing performance from Fields. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So let's start off with this play. It, very quickly started making you feel like, is this going to be, Justin Fields to DJ Moore the way we thought? And we certainly saw flashes of it early on. The way this play is designed to work is it is a zone coverage concept, and you have Chase Claypool is actually going to run a pretty good clear out route here, trying to get the corner and safety who's in that side of the field further deep. What's also worth noting is that this is a bit of a wild play. This is not a traditional quarters coverage concept. Antoine Winfield is blitzing off of the edge, but then players who look like they're going to be rushing the passer on the other side of the field are going to drop back into coverage. Just kind of what Todd Bowles likes to do, tries to create confusion. Sometimes it works. This play, not so much. Because as you see, when Fields takes the snap and runs this play action, it's picked up nicely. Now, blitz picked up very well. Again, I'm not sure if it's technically called a blitz, but you know what I mean. The rusher who you didn't think would be rushing the passer gets picked up nicely, and DJ Moore gets wide open. I think we saw this a bit last week with Justin Jefferson and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of, kind of them not paying as much attention to him and the Vikings, getting a ton of yards with Jefferson. Well, we saw it to a smaller degree early on with Chicago. DJ Moore being able to, when they're not putting attention on him and treating him like a number one receiver, he's able to get open, right? Right here, Devin White's the closest guy to him. I mean, that's just a mismatch, and, good on Fields for noticing it. As you see, Moore is going to be able to make the catch and pick up a decent gain, and this is the kind of thing that when the Bears added Moore, this is exactly what Bears fans were hoping for, is, hey, someone who can just get a chunk play, make things easy on Fields, give Fields an easy throw, and we saw a few of those on that opening drive touchdown. But then we had some negatives. Let's start off with this one. This is kind of I mentioned on the last play, good on Fields for being able to notice it and being able to hit DJ Moore. Well, this play, it's a 3rd down and 13. So a tough situation here, right? But also, just where you are on the field, it's not the worst time to take a chance. You obviously still don't want to throw an interception, but, if you do, there's worse places to throw an interception on the field than in this situation, 3rd and 13 at your own 47. But anyway, for Justin Fields, he's going to take the snap. He, looks over the middle and doesn't love what he sees. We're pretty decently into this play at this point. We are, nearing 4 seconds into the play, which is a very long time, and typically you have to make a decision, and Fields, ideally could have made a decision earlier. Instead, as you see, he's going to end up getting sacked. There was also a hold on the play. That's what that penalty flag was. So, ideally you would like to get rid of the football quicker, but some people might argue, wait a second, is that totally fair? Because what if there wasn't anyone open? Well, let's look at this angle. Let's see what DJ Moore was up to on this play. I've circled him. And as you see, he is going to get open, and this appeared to be where Fields was looking. I mean, I think Fields was looking kind of over a little bit more over, Chase Claypool's route, which is more at the logo earlier. But your read should then be to get to Moore if that first read is covered. That's how this play works. Your eyes are already right there. Just glance over and see if Moore is open, especially when, DJ Moore in a one-on-one matchup, that's something that you should be looking towards anyway, and you see Moore was clapping, he wanted the football. That's one that when Fields does film study, he's going to be disappointed. Does every quarterback do this on specific plays in every game? Absolutely. So I don't want to pick on Justin Fields too much because, this is something that happens. Tom Brady will do this, right? It is, something that does happen, but it's starting to become a narrative with Fields. This play was another one where, again, Fields, to me, honestly, I kind of view this as not even really Fields' fault. His read was on the other side of the field. However, when he takes the snap here, DJ Moore, he was open for a, little flat route, and he's disappointed he's not getting the ball, it appears. Again, what wide receiver is going to be sitting there saying, oh, good, I'm not getting the ball. Yeah, that's fine. Look at the other direction. Cool. No, that's just not how wide receivers are. You want the ball. You want to play. That's how they should be. So I don't, hold it against really anyone in this scenario. But again, it's leading to the overall narrative of Fields not really giving DJ Moore the ball. And whether that's, Fields' fault or the coaching staff's fault, either way, it is becoming a narrative. But like this is just another example of just like why there were the struggles when there were struggles, where what's going to happen on this play. And this had a pretty good drive by the Bears offense in general. There was a big run. I thought Fields made a couple nice throws on this one as well. So, okay, good drive. You're in a situation where the field goal should be a given. It's 3rd down and 13, like another 3rd down and long. Okay. Just don't screw anything up right here. If nothing's open, don't be afraid to throw the football away. Because again, this is different than the last 3rd and 13. You're in field goal range at this point. Fields is going to take the snap. He's going to look down the field, and I'm going to pause this one 5 seconds into the play. This is 5 seconds into the play. Typically, what you get is about 2.5 seconds. That's typically how your clock should be going if you're a quarterback here. And while there was a tight end chipping and a halfback looking to block, but then running a route, so you had a little bit more time. Maybe you could say you get around 3 seconds. Still, on the edge, there still were just one-on-one matchups. Like, it's not like, you were double teaming everybody. So, 2.5, 3 seconds, that's really the max that you should be expecting. Sometimes plays do go on for longer, but you can't be banking on that. Fields, 5 seconds into play, still is just really not protecting the football at all. He only has one hand on the football. You can't be doing this. 5 seconds into the play, sitting in the pocket with one hand on the football, that's a disaster. As you see, Fields ends up losing the football. Good job by the Chicago Bears offensive lineman to dive on it, but that could have cost them 3 points right there, and they were down at that point. You could have been continuing to be down. The Bears kicker made the 52-yard field goal. So again, no harm, no foul, but he kind of got bailed out a little bit there. So these are just the small things that you got to see him do a better job of, I think, as this season progresses. These are the things he has to fix. Also, something like this was something I noticed, and, I think my first reaction was this isn't great if you're a Bears fan, the fact that they're doing this with Justin Fields. It's a 3rd down and 9 right here, and we're early into the game. It's just a 3-point game, 10 minutes left in the second quarter. But watch as they're taking the ball out of Fields' hands. They're having him run a quick wide receiver screen, and that wasn't even particularly in a great situation where, you should run a screen, unless it's a cover 0, which they were kind of set up as though it could be a cover 0, but I don't think you can bank on this play being a cover 0. That was to me, this was not necessarily even an error, I don't think, but just kind of something telling for Chicago. Because, if you look over here, this is kind of a very similar situation. Later on in the game now, you're down right there. So it's hard to really criticize the coaching for it. I feel like a 50% conversion rate on 3rd down and 8, 3rd down and 9, you'll take that. It's kind of just more telling that they would rather go with screen passes here than just have Fields drop back and try to make a play. But the flip side is something like this. This is a 3rd down and 10. You're at midfield, still just down 10 points here late in the third quarter. So, plenty of time left where this is just kind of one of those, it seems like the defense kind of has you figured out a little bit. Because Tampa Bay is going to go with a heavy blitz on this one. So a lot of one-on-one matchups. And you're going to see Fields throw the ball to Chase Claypool. And Chase Claypool there's a narrative with Claypool as well in this game, I think in part because of, what we didn't see, not a ton of, catches. Zion McCollum is, the guy who's primarily lined up against Chase Claypool. And, Zion McCollum at times has looked unplayable for Tampa Bay. I think about the Baltimore game last year. Baltimore essentially just kept attacking McCollum until, they just continued to get yards and yards. McCollum's only here because of an injury right now, but he's reading this play perfectly. He's reading what Claypool is doing and also just understands the situation. 3rd down and 10, knows where the 1st down marker is, knows where the route could be going. He ends up jumping this route and doesn't end up with the interception. It looked like he did at first, ends up being ruled incomplete, but nearly had the interception right there. And that is who knows? Maybe he's only in his second year. Maybe he's just a better player now than he was last year. Or maybe this is just Chase Claypool not even really being able to get open against a guy who should just be a depth guy, which would be obviously much more concerning for Chicago. Fields did make, I thought, a really good throw to help get them back in it a little bit. Had a good drive, went for 6 for 6 on this drive, and it was Claypool who kind of had a real key impact in getting them back in this football game. First with a good block, then with this play, zone coverage. You see how his route could get into a gap in coverage. Watch as you see when this play begins. The defender covering Claypool actually falls down, but there's a safety over the top who can come in and try and make a play, so it's still not an easy throw for Fields to make. And these are the things that drive you crazy if you're a Bears fan, because you see the flashes, and you saw it in this game. I mean, look at that. A thing of beauty right where you want it to be. That's a mailbox throw in a clutch situation. Down 2 scores late in the 4th. You absolutely needed a perfect throw to get this touchdown. They got a perfect throw. Incredible stuff by Fields. And then the next drive happened, where what you see is it's a, I mean, this is, to me, it's one of those things where it's almost not even that much of a Fields fault, but it also is. So here's what's going to happen. First down and 11. Okay, running just a screen play here, trying to get some yards, because you don't need a touchdown here. You just need a field goal. Watch as Fields is going to eventually look up for the screen. Shaq Barrett, he was running a stunt on this play, ends up right here. Just a really smart player. Kind of what he's known for is being a high IQ player. He notices that this is going on, and it's kind of one of those situations where, like, if this was the first time they ran this play all game and and Barrett did it, then it's okay, that's a superstar making a great play. That's not what happened here. They were running this play constantly, and it was a smart player who you can't run the same play over and over again. Smart players are going to notice it and adjust. Watch Barrett, get his hand up, and honestly, it maybe wasn't even a perfect throw as well, which didn't help. Barrett, I mean, it's still an incredible defensive play, but kind of the cherry on top of a not so great Sunday, I thought, this Sunday for Justin Fields. Just a disappointing performance, I think, from Fields. Maybe hoping for more and didn't quite get it. Not his best day. I think there's no denying that. Still saw flashes for sure, but to me, it's just kind of another one of those, like, yeah, he doesn't have it all together yet. Where do we go from there? I just don't know, but as a whole, while there were some flashes and maybe some things you can continue to work towards, at the end of the day, he's still your starter for 15 more games. Definitely a bit of a bummer right now. But that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Fields and his performance? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.